For Wall Street Media, this is Nikki, and I'd like to introduce a very special guest today, John Tumazos, founder and principal of John Tumazos Very Independent Research. Hi, John.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Sure.
Now, what is the asset of UTS Energy?
UTS Energy controls over 200,000 acres of oil sands lands in the Athabasca Basin in Alberta. I estimate that they have about 3 billion barrels of attributable, recoverable syncrude in the oil sands. They're not in production yet. They have 4 baskets of properties. Petro-Canada just raised their capital estimate from 15 to 25 billion to build the first syncrude mine with UTS and Teck.
Wow.
UTS's stock has fallen greatly. It's worth $1 billion or so. In a way, it's like buying oil in the ground for 10 cents a barrel.
Wow.
Because people just expect
that is just
a
so
bleak
crazy.
near-term outlook. I expect their projects will get re-engineered and the cost won't be as high as first projected.
Right. Now, what is the asset of Duluth Metals?
Duluth Metals is one of 5 players in a polymetallic district in northeastern Minnesota. Duluth Metals' market value right now is about $35 million. They have 15.2 million ounces of platinum, palladium, and gold, 3.1 billion pounds of nickel, and 10.2 billion pounds of copper, and 167 million pounds of cobalt. They haven't measured rhodium and ruthenium and silver, but they got a good bit of that too.
Right.
They need maybe 900 million to build their factory, and in the credit crunch, people are thinking there isn't enough money around, so the stock's fallen 90%.
People just don't know what to do. That's what we're here for.
But it's a fine deposit and a fine asset. We expect that they'll take a couple years for their permits, and they'll need to spend the money to build the factory in 2 or 3 years. In the meantime, they're just counting bunnies in Minnesota.
You know what? Why has Thompson Creek Metals share price fallen?
Well, Thompson's fallen from about $30 to $5. They're the world's largest publicly traded molybdenum company, which is one of 10 hardening agents used in steelmaking. It's what's called a ferroalloy. The moly price has fallen from 34 to 29. Thompson Creek's cost is in the direction of $10 a pound. The stock market is trading Thompson Creek like the moly price already fell to 10. Last week, BHP Billiton announced a $3.5 billion desalination plant in Chile. That might be the largest single molybdenum order ever. It hasn't rained for 100 years in the Atacama Desert, and BHP needs more water to run their copper mines.
Right.
We think the long-term outlook is a little better than the stock market fears it is for Thompson Creek.
Right. Well, sounds good. That's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for coming in. It was great to meet you.
Good to meet you.
We're here every day at Wall Street Media. You can find us directly at WSMCO.com. Thanks.